Hello, YouTube. So, I always try to do a live stream if I'm trying to go to work or whatever. You have to excuse me. I'm kind of stuffy and things. The allergies are so bad right now. Got my nose itching and running and all that. But I'm doing this video basically on the movie The Hate You Give. I watched that movie a while back, but one of my coworkers watched it recently, and she was telling me how powerful she thought the movie was. And the movie The Hate You Give, the dad's role was what I thought was really powerful. It wasn't more so the role of the movie itself as far as the hate and as far as like the way the people were treated, but it's more so the father's role in it. That I thought was such a powerful thing. In the black community, many times that's actually atypical of what the father's role is in the household. Many males are not raised by other men, so they tend not to be as strong, and that's because they don't have that male presence. I find that like I was telling her, that females are raised right from day one how to be mothers, providers, how to be caretakers, how to be wives. Right when the girls, as soon as she can able to hold a doll in her hand, or they'll give her a doll. Barbies, they'll give her Barbies. And Barbie had a house. Barbie met Ken. Ken came to the house. Barbie made Ken dinner. Barbie had a kitchen. Barbie was learning making Ken meals and basically being a spouse or a wife or a girlfriend. She learned how to be a caretaker to Ken. Then Ken and Barbie had a baby. Barbie learned how to take care of the baby. And so that's what basically we teach. We don't teach young males, especially in the black community, are not taught how to be husbands, fathers, providers. They have no male role models, no uncles, because they've as well been raised by women. And so the trait that they have picked up from their mothers could be passed on to the male. So he ends up picking up the same trait that his uncle had, as not learning how to be a provider, or a father, a husband, because he's never learned that from a male who actually had that role. And so he tends to carry on that trait. That's why a lot of times with the guy AMS, I don't agree with him on everything. He calls women out their name. He calls women bees and hoes and stuff like that. And he thinks that women are out to manipulate men, and we're trying to destroy their life, and that's all we're trying to do. And I don't know what type of women he meets, and maybe they're low self-esteem women who need him. But males like him, I don't need. And because I've met males who first time meeting me asked me, "Well, do you need your bills paid?" And I'm looking at him like, "Do I look like I need my bills paid?" All the things I have, I got myself. So if I have a man in my life, it's not because I need a man. I want a man in my life, or needs a man in my life. I have one in my life because I want a man in my life. I don't need anyone to do anything for me. I want us to be a team. And the problem is with that movie, the wife knew her role. You didn't see her coming in and saying, "Baby, don't do that. Oh no, you ain't gonna do much." She didn't. She allowed him to be the leader. She allowed him to do whatever. She sat in her corner and she knew her role. She stayed in her spot and she knew her role as the wife. She didn't step in and try to take over. She didn't try to run him. She didn't try to rule him. She didn't try to overstep her bounds with him. When he was speaking to the children, the way he spoke to them, she said, "Oh, babe," she didn't say, "Baby, don't speak to the kids like that." Oh no, she didn't interrupt him. She let him do what he did. When the police grabbed that man and he told them to stay back, and he told them to record everything he told them to do, they were right on it. His family listened to him and they watched him. He was the guide. That's a man's role, is to be the guide. And so many males are not trained to be guides and leaders. And it's sad, because I met a guy who's actually, it's actually a lot of them. When males go to prison and they have no guidance to be men, their children tend to follow their trail. So you went to jail or prison. Guess what? Your son's going to jail or prison unless you're able to break the cycle. And the only way you can break the cycle is to change your mind. Men have to educate themselves and learn how to be better men. Because you out here, oh, my baby mama said, when calls me and tells me she needs shoes or clothes, and I send her $300-400. Yeah, you sent money. But where are you at as far as the presence? Your presence is more than just some child support. Child support is just a small part of supporting a kid. If you were just not giving any money at all and you were there all the time, your kid wouldn't say, well, Daddy, you never bought me those shoes. He would say, Dad, you know what? You didn't buy me anything, but you were always there. I love my dad because my dad was there. He taught me, he raised me, he trained me. And that's what children look for. They don't need things. Parents have a misconception. And your role as a father, especially when you have sons, is to teach them how to be men. Fathers, husbands, providers, they need to learn this. This is something so important, and it's lost, especially in the Black community. In other cultures, you can look in Hispanic culture, you can look in Asian culture, white culture. You will not see the lost young males as many as we have right now in the Black community. They're lost. And this movie, I thought, was basically so powerful because it showed that this is what the Black males used to be. They used to be that powerful. They used to be that strong. I remember those days. My stepdad ran our household, up until my mom broke up. My stepdad ran our household. He ruled it. And my mom didn't go, no, he doesn't. She stayed in her lane. And that's what we as women need to learn, to become more submissive to our men and allow them to lead and not be so busy trying to run the household. The problem that comes with that is that so many females are running a single household. They don't know how to let the reins go. They don't know how to let go of the reins and let the man lead because she's been running the household. And I'm not talking about like one who's been single parent for like a year or two. I'm talking about ones who's been running the household for 10, 15, 20 years. She doesn't know how to let that go. She doesn't know how to release the reins. She doesn't know how to let the man lead because she's been running it. Everything's set up the way she wants. And then here he comes, wants to rule and run everything. Her biggest concern is, okay, if I let you run it, will you run it? I need you to run it. You don't get days off because I didn't take days off. You have to do it and not take days off. That's the problem. And a lot of males think they can take days off. No, you cannot take days off. You cannot take days off from being the king of the house, the king of the castle. Kings don't get days off. You cannot do it. So you have to, when you say you're going to be in the head of the household, you have to be the head. And that's all the time. You can't pick and choose what days. Oh, today I'm not going to be the head. Girl, you can just do what you want to do. No, you can't do that. Because once you do that with a woman, if you give us the dang on freaking reins, you ain't getting them back. That's one thing you have to learn. If you give us the rein, you're not getting the reins back. Those are your reins. You better hold on to them because you're the man. And if you give me the reins, I'm going to keep them. I'm not going to hand them back to you because obviously they're not that important to you. I've had these reins. I gave you these reins and then you gave them back to me. So once I get them back, I'm going to keep them. Your job is to hold on to these reins and they ain't going to freaking run this wagon train. This is your job. If you were the captain or whatever, or the ship, they ain't gonna freaking wagon train or whatever. Your job is to they ain't gonna freaking run this wagon train and not they ain't gonna let the reins go. That's your job. And I wish that I knew or wish there was some side of society or some kind of way. They have them in certain areas where males actually get involved with young males and teach them. But you have to start when they're so very young, and so many mothers are not willing to allow men to come in and teach their sons because they always think, well, he has an alternative motive, ulterior motive, and a lot of times, sometimes they just want to help. You should allow this man to come in. If they have a group or a society of men that will come in and help these young males, let them come in and help your son learn how to be a man. Because if you don't give him that ability, the skill, so that he could actually be the man of his house, and learn how to, learn how to run his household, then he is going to lose that skill, and he won't know how to be a father or a husband to his family. So I wish there was a way. I wish I knew the answer on how men could be. That movie was so powerful, and that father, his role was so strong, and I was admiring him, and I was like, geez, I wish I could find a man like that, a king, because I would follow that man to the dang end of the earth. I would go with him wherever he freaking went. If he told me to go to the end of the earth and stand there, I would be waiting for his butt to come, literally. But those men are not available, and there's not a lot of those males around. These males now are chasing females who are looking for a payout, and I'm not looking for a payout. That's not what my goal is. I don't want a man who's looking for. I met a guy, and the first thing comes out his mouth is, asked me is, he didn't even know my name, but he asked me did I need my bills paid. And I'm thinking, if I needed my bills paid, I surely wouldn't be out here. I wouldn't be here with you or anywhere else with anybody else. I'll be trying to figure out how to get those bills paid. But I guess that's the type of females that's out here now, that men feel they gotta, can I buy you a gift? We only spoke to each other twice. Why are you trying to buy me gifts? That's just a bit much, and I'm not that type of woman. But that's where our society has come to, where our males think they need to buy into this, and no one's teaching them how to be strong. No one's teaching them how to be men, how to be. I have 3 sons, and my youngest son had my ex-husband, which he grew up in a single mother household, so he didn't know how to give our son. I have to teach my son some things my ex-husband couldn't teach him. And it was sad because he grew up with a single mother, a single parent household where he didn't get the training either. And so he didn't know how to lead. And it was difficult because I wanted him to lead. I'm the woman. Many men think that women want to lead. I don't want to lead. I don't want to lead. I honestly do not. My intentions have never been to be with someone so that I can run them, rule them, lead them. I don't want to lead. I do not want to lead. I've never wanted to be the leader. I don't want to be the ruler. I want someone who wants to do that. That's your job. I will let you have it, brother. I will not interrupt. If you handling your business, I'm gonna let you handle it. I'll be like, baby, just a situation over here. I'm just letting you know, okay? I'm going back in my corner. You handle it. I got you. If you need me, I'm over here in the corner. That's you. That'll be all you. A lot of times these men, like in the MGTOW and like this AMS, he was saying that women want to rule men. I don't. I want you to be great. Now I will try to, if you're having some struggles, I'm going to tell you because I want you to be great. So I'm going to say, babe, I'm going to make a suggestion. How about trying this? How about us trying that? I'm here to help. I'll do what I can so you can be successful. So I'm trying to help you be great, but I'm not trying to run you and rule you. I don't want a male who's sitting on my couch all day long. And they was talking about black men going to white females and stuff like that. And the reason why they say the reason why they're doing it is because black women are not submissive enough, and we tend to dog our men out, talk down to them, and things like that. And they say that the white female doesn't say anything. She's more submissive. She doesn't nag. I'm sorry, everyone, my allergies are so bad. She doesn't nag. She doesn't say anything to a male. Well, that's all good on her part. And I'm not going to stress you, but I don't need a boy in my household. And so if they're more accepting of boys being in their household, more power to you, women. I'm not accepting of having a boy in my household who's sitting around and letting me take care of him and pay all the bills and while he sits on the couch. That's a boy. That's not a man. So if those are the kind of guys those females want, you can have them. She's buying him clothes, giving him money, taking care of things. And I have no issue with a woman giving men money, because I've given some men money that I was dating when they needed it and they said it, I would give it to them. They didn't even have to ask me. If I saw that they needed it and they needed help from me, I'm willing to do whatever I got to do. And I would take them out and buy them clothes. And I have no issues with that. But I'm not taking care of you. You are a man. So you cannot be the best you with a woman taking care of you. You have to take care of you. You're supposed to be a provider. And I'm not saying you're supposed to pay all the bills, but you are the head. You are the head of the household. You are the leader. You're the one that she's supposed to be relying on. You're the one that she's supposed to be dependent on. You're the one that she's supposed to look to when she needs guidance, when she needs strength. You're the one she's supposed to look to. How can she look to you when you sitting here letting her take care of you? She has no one. So then a lot of times, especially with black females and males, they're sitting there smoking weed and drinking and don't do anything, sitting around with the pants hanging low and looking all stupid. And she's out here working 2 or 3 jobs and got 3 or 4 kids in the house by him. And he's barely bringing anything or barely doing anything. What you think? How you think she's feeling? So yeah, she's got some resentment. Of course she does, because she's like, I'm doing all this trying to build something and this dude ain't even helping. This is the reason why it's like that with a lot of black females. This is what we have to deal with, and they can say what you just say what you want to about black women trying to run or rule or whatever, and that's not the case at all. The situation is that a lot of times a black female has to be the man and the woman in the relationship, because the man doesn't know how to play his role as a man, and she doesn't know. She would like to let him basically do that, but he refuses to take his role seriously. He refuses to take the reins. He refuses to play his part. And so a lot of times females, they just be like, well, forget it. I'll just rule it, and that's because that's what I'm used to. My mama did it, and I guess I'm gonna have to do it too. If you males, black men especially, and you notice in other cultures that don't happen, Asian men don't have to deal with that with their women. And they say, well, they're quiet. No, you know why? Because Asian men ain't going to tolerate that. I'm the man. I'm going to take care of it. When their family needs something, they go out and get it. They go take care of it. If he got to work 5 hours a day on freaking day, he would go out and make sure that happens. That doesn't always happen. And when it's a black male, he'll sit back and chill. And I'm not saying all black men. I'm saying a lot of times they're not used to putting time in. They're not used to putting that time out and making sure their family provided for. They're used to working for themselves, going to put big rims on their car. Well, you know what? You having 26s or 38s or 59s on your tires, on your car, rims on your car is not more important than your family eating. So you shouldn't be trying to pay a $500 freaking bill for that instead of taking care of your house. Do you own a home? All you own is that freaking car, which ain't even a new car. It's an old school car, but you put 15, 39, 59-inch rims on it, and you own no home. You're renting. I'm just saying. That's backwards as I don't know what. That's not important. You're getting candy paint and putting freaking tint on the windows when you should be making sure that you have something to leave to your kids. You should be building assets. That's what you should be doing. That car depreciates. It doesn't mean a thing. And only unless you have a real classic car, and you shouldn't even be trying to get that till you have the rest of your household together. You shouldn't be trying to get no classic nothing until you get your own home and have your own house to park that car in front of. That should be your goal. Your goal should not to be buying an expensive vehicle or putting the big rims on it. That's what men are supposed to do. Men are supposed to not care about what no one else thinks. You could drive in a bucket. Who cares? Guess what? You driving that bucket up to a house, what can they say about you? Nothing. Because you pulled your bucket up in front of a house. They don't have a house. You have a house that you're paying a mortgage, not rent. This is not someone else's money. This is your money, your assets, your stuff. So you shouldn't care about what someone else is getting or what someone else is doing. That's what a man does. A man does that. He don't care about that. You know, his goal is to be successful, to make sure he leaves a legacy or leaves something behind for his children. His goal is not to impress other people. Men don't care about impressing other people. Men don't worry about impressing other men. Men worry about making sure they leave an impression on their family. They leave something for their family, their wives, their mothers, or whoever. Their family is their concern. They don't worry about this dude in the street, because who cares what he thinks? If you have your own home and you pull in your car, it's a bucket and it's all busted and it got rust, but you know what? You're going from here to work and you're making your money, or your business and you're making money. That's all a man worries about. He doesn't worry about that other nonsense. And that's what we need to get. The males now need to get back to that and not worrying about all this other stupid materialistic stuff. That's not important. They need to be taught how to be men and how to be husbands and how to be fathers, not just paying child support. Because just paying child support is not being a father. That, yeah, you provided some money, but that's not being a father. These children are missing you. They need you in their lives. Not just the sons, but the daughters. They need you so bad. They need you in their life to guide them. And if you don't have the skills to guide them, get a book. Ask some people. Take a class. Do some research. Figure out how you can raise your children to not go down the same road you went down. Selling drugs, getting high, having several babies, going to jail. Break that bond. Break that chain. How can you break that chain? That's what you should be trying to figure out. How can I break this chain? I'm sorry this video just went, this straight live stream just went so long, but I felt that movie was so passionate because it showed how I've always dreamed of having a male or a man in my life like that. You know, my stepdad taught us things, how to tie ties. I know how to tie a tie, and I'm a girl. He showed us when we were young. My stepdad used to take us fishing, and my uncles were actually very prideful men. And they knew, they trained. So my brothers had my uncles and stuff that teach them how a man's supposed to keep a woman on the inside, not near the road, keep her on the inside, and walk with a woman on the inside to keep her safe, because you are the provider, you're the protector. My uncle taught that. I'm a woman. Why do I know that? And a lot of males don't. Because I was raised by men. I've seen men in my family. They're strong. They're guiders. They're providers. They're husbands. They know how to be. They didn't just take care of their children and send some money to them. They actually wanted to raise them. And you need to get back to teaching men how to raise their children and teaching males how to be males. Your son will be lost in the system, and you wonder why he's broken and why he's not acting right and why he's not successful. He's not successful because you didn't give him anything to lead him to success. You didn't provide him tools for success. He's not successful because you failed to provide the tools for his success. You thought that you sending him some money was going to help him. Didn't help him be successful. That didn't help him become successful. That helped him lose, because he didn't need money. He needed you. So that was my take on it. I'm sorry this went on a long time, but I just felt very passionate about it, and I just wish I could change things. I wish the black community was strong like it used to be. There was so many strong black males and strong black male role models, and now we are basically left with what we're left with. And these males are going down this road, and so many of them are gay because of their being raised single mother households, and many of them are weak, and even weak in mind because of the lack of strength that can be inputted from a strong male role model. They don't have that. So I don't know if anyone has any suggestions or know anything about groups or whatever, or maybe we could figure out a way to start a group. I don't want someone that have a woman involved. I want males to all be involved, especially in the black community, because if you look at the Asian community, they don't have this issue. You look in the Hispanic community even, they don't have this issue. It's just mostly a bigger thing in the black community. And I know it goes back to slave days, and they was talking about the Willie Lynch letter and all that thing. But you know what? That doesn't have to be the stigma, and that doesn't have to be the rule. We can change these things and make them different. But we need to do that ourselves in our own community. Those are things we need to do in our own community, to stop being so separate and run away from each other and always talking about each other. We need to start bonding again and getting back to where we used that way we used to be, when there was a village, when there used to be a village. We're no longer a village. And in the village, it was a wall. The village did raise the children, and now it's like we're so separate. We don't care about each other anymore. So that's my mama said, and I'm just sad about the whole thing. I love you guys. I love my people. I do. I'm not just saying that in a racist way. I love all people, but being a woman of color, you know, I pray for black males all the time. I cry for them many days because and I'm saddened by the whole situation that's happening with them and the loss of them. You know, there's so many that's lost, and I wish we could go get them back to the way we used to be, and so that I can see them and my grandsons and stuff. I just wish there was more. There was more out there for black males, someone out there for them to look up to it, and instead of men that they're doing the MGTOW and the AMS and stuff like that. I mean, real strong black men who have morals and guidelines and standards and actually, you know, stand for something. And they all tell you, you got to give a man a firm handshake and look him straight in the eye. Those kind of rules that's being taught, that's lost. That lost stuff. That stuff that's lost. And so, here we are. But I'm going to keep hope alive, and I'm hoping that we can turn this around. I know there's some out there that's like that, but it's very few and far in between. As Mama said, you guys have a good day. I got to get ready for work. Because I have to pay my own bills. I don't ask for no one. So please, no, I do not need my bills paid. I just want to say, put that out there again. Asking me when you first meet me, do I need my bills paid? No, I don't need them paid. I paid them already, buddy. Thank you. All right, well, take care of everyone.